Hey engineers, did you know that you can easily export the blueprint models you create in Space Engineers as standard OBJ files with all the textures included? I've been getting these questions quite a lot lately, and I was quite surprised that so many people weren't aware of this cool little feature the game has. So I figured it was time to share, so you can also take advantage of this workflow, bringing life to your creations, integrating them into your own videos, surprising your friends and fellow gamers while having a lot of fun throughout the whole process. Let me show you really quick how to do that. First, press F10 in game to bring up the blueprints menu you subscribe to on Space Engineers Workshop on Steam. Select the blueprint you like and place it into the world. You can place it anywhere in the world. Just one very important tip: make sure the blueprint models you paste are not touching any nearby grids, such as platforms or other spaceships, for example. Because this way, when you export them, they might be exported along with those additional grids, which you definitely don't want. Now all you have to do is just aim at your blueprint model and hit magic hotkey Ctrl-Alt-E, and the game will start exporting the model block by block and texture by texture. Once the export is done, you will have your model and textures prepared for you nicely on the desktop in a special Space Engineers Exported Models folder. How cool is that? Here we have the main OBJ file and all the textures used by this blueprint model. And what's even more cool, the textures have the color you assigned them in the game. So all of your spaceship paintwork will be accurately transferred, which I think is fantastic. The next step would be to import your model into Blender or any other 3D software of your choice. What's really cool, all the textures will be hooked up for you automatically, so the only thing you might want to do is just to go into face selection mode and adjust the material properties of specific areas on the model, making them shinier or rougher, more metallic or looking like glass. It's really up to you to decide at this point how the model will look like. I really like that Blender selects materials based on the face you have currently selected. This is a very handy feature that saves really a lot of time. Here, for example, I'm making those construction frames to be more metallic and shiny, which looks really cool in final render. Next step is obvious. Shoot your footage either with your smartphone or camera. I personally prefer my trusty iPhone shooting everything in 4K at 30 or 60 FPS, but any smartphone or camera will do, of course. I then export that video from iPhone to iCloud, render it as an image sequence, and load it into Synthesize, a fantastic software for doing professional camera tracking. Synthesize is a paid software, and I can assure you it's worth every dollar it costs. But you can make camera tracking within Blender itself and get great results depending on the complexity of your shot. Once the tracking in Synthesize is ready, I export it in Alembic format and import it into Blender. The tracking data comes to Blender in a form of collection of tracking markers and the animated camera, which repeats the motion of the real physical camera. Now the sky's the limit, guys. You're free to import your Space Engineers models here, placing them wherever you want, add additional details, retexture, and even remodel them to your liking. In other words, you can take them anywhere you want from there. For this shot, I used Blender and rendered it using Octane, but of course you can use any 3D software or even a game engine of your choice, the one you're feeling the most comfortable in. Try it yourself and make cool videos featuring your very own spaceships and other creations you do in Space Engineers game. And of course, let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Keep creating.